Pakistan and Saudi Arabia have one of the closest and least understood relationships in the Muslim world. It's been built over decades, shaped by religion, money, and deep security ties. But now that relationship is under a spotlight as tensions involving Iran, the US, and Israel raise new questions about alliances, obligations, and how far they really go. So, what exactly ties Pakistan and Saudi Arabia together? Why does it matter right now, and what risks does it create for Pakistan going forward?
So it's a very important relationship for Pakistan.
That's Beenish Javed, a DW reporter from Pakistan, who's been explaining the country and its politics to us for years.
Pakistan is one of the most populous Muslim nations in the world. Majority of Pakistanis are Sunni Muslims, so they feel close affiliation with Saudi Arabia, which is home to the holiest places for Muslims, Kaaba. But economically, I would say that, for example, 2.5 million Pakistanis work in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is a source for largest foreign remittances for Pakistan. So it's a hugely important economic relationship from Pakistani side. Whenever Pakistan has faced financial crunch, Saudi Arabia has been that country that has helped Pakistan provide financial support. It has helped Pakistan shore up its reserves, foreign exchange reserves. So Saudi Arabia has been a huge economic help for Pakistan. But I would say that in return, Saudi Arabia gets a lot also from Pakistan. Pakistan, a nuclear armed country, is able to provide this strategic defense umbrella to Saudi Arabia. So Saudi Arabia has that interest.
So Saudi Arabia gets a nuclear-armed military partner. Pakistan gets financial oxygen. That's how it's been for decades. But last September, they went one further. On that foundation, the two countries built a formal mutual defense pact. On paper, it looks like a serious commitment. An attack on one is an attack on both. In practice, though, it's more complicated than that. A prime example, the Iran war.
It's hugely symbolic. It sort of provides deterrence for Saudi Arabia and also deterrence for Pakistan. But in reality, every country, whenever they have mutual defense agreements, or even if they're a part of alliance like NATO, ultimately every country follows their national interest. Right now, what we see that when Iran was attacking Saudi Arabia, it's not that Pakistan started militarily helping Saudi Arabia against Iran, because it goes against the national interest of Pakistan. But the symbolic value of the defense agreement remains very, very high between these two countries. But ultimately, both of these countries follow their national interest. And therefore, we saw that during this conflict, Saudi Arabia did not invoke the defense agreement and did not ask Pakistan to join this conflict.
Right, so Pakistan is not going to war with its neighbor Iran on behalf of Saudi Arabia, but it's also not standing aside. When Iranian missiles started hitting Saudi oil infrastructure, Pakistan postured, sent jets to the Gulf, and at the same time, it started mediating between the US and Iran. On the surface, that looks like Pakistan playing both sides, but Beenish says the logic is actually more self-interested than that.
There was a concern, there was a worry that if Iran keeps attacking Saudi Arabia, at one point Saudi Arabia may invoke the defense agreement and Pakistan would not be in a position to say no to Saudi Arabia and would have to help Saudi Arabia. And that's a position Pakistan did not want. And therefore, we see that Pakistan, a big motivation for Pakistan to stop this conflict or to mediate this or mediate between US and Israel and Iran to stop this war was because Pakistan did not want Saudi Arabia to invoke this conflict. And Pakistan has used during this conflict its strong ties with Saudi Arabia to convince Saudi Arabia to lower the temperature, to do not escalate with Iran. And there are also reports that Pakistan gave messages to Iran that Pakistan has a very strong relationship with Saudi Arabia. So there is a limit to which Pakistan can help Iran. And therefore, we see that the ties with Saudi Arabia and the defense agreement played a big role in pushing Pakistan to mediate between US and Iran.
In other words, Pakistan became a peacemaker partly to avoid being drawn into the fight, considering it shares a 900-kilometer border with Iran. Pakistan finds itself in a unique position because it has open lines to all sides. And domestically, the picture is just as complicated.
Most Muslims in Pakistan are Sunni Muslims, and they have close ideological affiliation with Saudi Arabia. So any strengthening of Pakistan's relationship with Saudi Arabia has full support of Pakistan public. So I would also add that this war has also shown that Pakistanis also overwhelmingly support Iran. The public opinion is right now in Pakistan largely supports Iran. So in terms of regional countries right now, Pakistanis overwhelmingly support Iran, but also overwhelmingly support good ties with Saudi Arabia.
So Pakistan's government is walking a tightrope, trying to keep those relationships going. But if you zoom out, this isn't just a Pakistan story. Iran's strikes have exposed something bigger. The Gulf's reliance on the US for protection hasn't entirely delivered what they expected.
What Iranian attacks on the Gulf nations exposed to the world were that the Gulf nations were left vulnerable, and the United States was not able to help provide security to these Gulf countries. And therefore, what we see, and it's not only Saudi Arabia, what we will see after this war is that even other Gulf countries would look for regional partners who will be able to provide some sort of defense security to them. Because for sure, what we can see that dependence on the US for security only US as a partner, security partner, is not enough for the Gulf nations anymore.
And rather than driving them apart, the conflict in Iran looks like it's actually tightening the bonds between the two countries.
I think the relationship has further strengthened during the war. Pakistan has, as we have seen reports that Pakistan has deployed its troops to Saudi Arabia. That's the first time that Pakistan has, after signing of the defense agreement, that's the first deployment that has been announced. And Pakistan has also sent its fighter jets to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has come in financial aid to Pakistan by shoring up Pakistan's foreign exchange reserves. I see Pakistan and Saudi Arabia's relationship much stronger now after this conflict.
So this isn't just a story about a defense agreement or a single deployment. It's about a relationship that's been built over decades. For Pakistan, staying close to Saudi Arabia brings real benefits, but it also comes with risks, especially when the conflicts spill across borders. And as the region recalibrates as a result of this war, it seems clear that Pakistan and Saudi Arabia aren't drifting apart. They're drawing closer together. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.